Hi, and welcome back to Distilled 405. I'm Daniel, and today we're going to be looking at the Naked Grouse blended 100% pure malt Scotch whiskey. One way that this differs from your typical blend, say a Johnny Walker or Dewar's or Teacher's or any of those, is those all have single malts blended in the vat with also grain whiskeys. This is different. This is a blend of 100% single malt Scotch whiskeys. It's bottled at 43% ABV. I'm guessing because it is a blend that it's probably been colored to kind of give those whiskeys uniformity, and that way when every new batch of Naked Grouse comes out, they all have a very similar color that the consumer can expect from that bottle, and it's recognizable. I'm also guessing it's been chill filtered for the exact same reason. Oh, nice cork sound. Let's give it a pour and nose and taste it. I am told or read that the majority of this whiskey is sourced from Highland Park and McKellen. I have no idea of the proportions on those two distilleries. As most of you know, Highland Park and McKellen are both highly sherried whiskeys in most cases, especially McKellen. So I'm guessing that this is going to be very dark fruit, red fruit forward. That's how I usually explain sherry to most people. And I have no idea of the age range, whether those malts were older or younger, probably a mix of a little bit of both. But let's give it a nose and see if that tells us anything. Wow. Right off the bat, sherry. Exactly what I thought and what I had hoped, because I'm a huge sherry fan. Very, very fruit forward. If you're a sherry person, this is probably going to be right up your alley. Lots of sherry, lots of red fruits, plums, raisins, dates, even some cherries. I mean, it is just an absolute red fruit basket. Christmas cake. Wow. It's almost got a candy sweetness to it on the nose because it's so fruit forward. Oh my gosh, it smells absolutely delicious. I'm getting a lot of oak. I'm actually, if I didn't know that this was a somewhat budget-friendly blend, I would think this is a much older sherried whiskey, because it just has that old, dank, dark notes that a very well-aged sherried whiskey has, which I'm actually a huge fan of. So you're still getting that oak, which it's a beautiful mingling of the sherry fruitiness with the oak. The nose is just absolutely amazing. Very fruit cakey. All right, enough talking about the nose. Let's give it a try. 43%. I'm hoping that really bulks up this blend. A lot of blends are at 40% ABV, so we'll see if that really helps us out on the palate. Wow, delicious. Everything I said on the nose is still on the palate. Very, very fruit forward with that oaky backbone to it, so it's not overdone, it's not over sherried. You can still tell that it's a Scotch, that it's all Highland Speyside. That's still there, but it's got this blanket overcoat of sherry, which is good. I think that is a very well done when sherry whiskeys. The sherry doesn't take over and ruin the fact that it's a single malt Scotch from the Highlands or Speyside, wherever it may be from. Absolutely delicious. Let me try it again. The punchiness of some of those fruits have taken a little bit of a backseat to the oak aging. I'm getting way more oak on the palate than I was on the nose. There's still that sherry, that fruitness, the dates and the cherries and the fruitcake, that's all still there. But it definitely has taken a much more back seat than it was on the nose. It's not as vibrant and bright. And the youthfulness is showing a little bit more on the palate than it was on the nose. It's delicious. This is a phenomenal whiskey. Very, very easy to drink. Very straightforward. Not overly complex on the nose. The nose is way more complex, in my opinion, than the palate. But the palate still delivers, especially for the price. I think this whiskey cost me around $30. I think like 31 bucks. That's a steal for 43% and a pure malt whiskey blend, where a lot of the blends you see, like I said, are traditional blends with Scotch single malts and grains. This is 100% Scotch for $30 with you know, that backbone of Highland Park and Macallan in there that you can definitely smell and taste. It's an absolute steal. If you can get your hands on this and you like sherried whiskeys, I would say you definitely need to pick it up. I also bottled at 43%, so that extra 3% over the legal minimum for Scotch. Killer, absolutely killer. What a steal. And I would say if you can get your hands on this, absolutely go for it. It's very, very good whiskey. The finish is somewhat short, which I expected from a blend, and being a budget blend, it drops off almost immediately. But the nose and the palate are so good that I can forgive that. So definitely a great whiskey, a great buy. So be sure and pick one up. That's all for this review. If you like this video and like others like it, please subscribe. We've got a lot more great content coming out in the future. Thanks for watching. Cheers.